welcome to the City Prime News, which is live from our studio at number 11 Dr. Morton Loop in Adabraka, Accra. It's also live on all our partner stations across the country. In the Western region, we're on Premier FM 100.5 in Takoradi and Beach 105.5 also in Takoradi. In the Bono region, we're on Greener FM 95.9 in Sunyani. In the Ashanti region, we're on Orange FM 107.9 FM in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we're on Akpene Radio 96.7 FM in Pando and Heritage FM 107.3 also in Hohoi. The Northern region, we're on Dasuma 99.1 in Yendi. Upper East, you can hear us on Wed FM 88.3 in Zuarungu. Upper West region, we are on West Link 88.1 FM in Laura, and the Northeast region, we're on Eagle FM 94.1 FM in Waliwale. The news is also live across the globe on citinewsroom.com. I am Wilma Obobi Sakoman, and this afternoon I'm here with
Charles Ozukumi.
Coming up in the next 1 hour, NDC MP for Jomoro, Dorcas Afotofe, wins election petition case brought against her eligibility relating to citizenship.
If one person, you claim you were born in 1971 in Abidjan, you claim you were born in 1972 in Ghana, you claim you were born in somewhere, that is a matter for the criminal justice system.
Also coming up, 5 persons in police custody for attempting to break out of police cells at the Ewutu Breku District Police Command. Still ahead, former President John Dramani Mahama says the harsh economic challenges in the country have affected even the volumes of effortry paid by churchgoers.
And then when they got to the silver collection, 1 CD, 2 CDs, the place was full. It shows that the pocket is not too good,
And later, work on the Volta Regional Library Complex in Ho remains abandoned 19 years after construction began.
The toilet is just here, so always if we are learning, we hear things that we don't like, and we want the government to help us with this because we are suffering.
Stay tuned as we bring you details of all that and more on the City Prime News in a bit.
City Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Many thanks for your time. We'll settle for the details of our stories now. Now, the High Court in Sekondi in the Western region has dismissed a petition challenging the eligibility of the Member of Parliament for Jomoro, Dorcas Afotofe. The petitioner, Joshua Emua Kofi, wanted the court to determine that the MP was an Ivorian at the time of filing her nomination to contest in the 2020 general elections. However, the presiding judge, Dr. Richmond Oseshre, dismissed the petition on grounds that Dorcas Afotofe lost her Ivorian citizenship when she acquired a Ghanaian citizenship. We are joined on the phone by our Western Regional correspondent, Akwesi Ejenim, to give us details of the story. Many thanks for joining us this afternoon. Quickly tell us what ensued in court today.
Well, today, following the election petition case against the MP for Jomoro, Dorcas Afotofe, we, as early as 8:30, we had the petitioner himself, that is Mr. Joshua Kofi, together with some MPP sympathizers actually coming to the court. And so the sympathizers from the MPP side included the former chairman of the MPP, Mark Menu, led by his lead counsel, that is Frank Davis. And then on the first respondent side, that is the MP for Jomoro, his legal team was actually led by the lawyer by the name lawyer Idwazi, and some other NDC sympathizers, including the former minister for the NDC and an elder of the party, Tobi Kwachi. We saw the former Chief Justice Henrietta Brew, as well as other courts. And so as early as 9:16, the presiding judge of the Secondary High Court, His Lordship Dr. Justice Ahwe, actually opened the case, and he started by reading his findings and his judgment for the day. And the case, we all know, is a case actually challenging the eligibility of the Jomoro MP on the grounds that he actually held an Ivorian citizenship as well as an American citizenship at the time that she was actually filing her nomination to contest the Jomoro seat. Along the line, the court, the judge in his ruling made it clear that along the line, that's along the 23 months of the proceedings, the petitioners actually dropped the bit about the MP holding an American citizenship. That was actually discounted. It was denied at a point, and so that was actually ruled out. And then the issue of she having Ivorian citizenship or being an Ivorian at the time of filing her nomination became a substantive case. And so the judge said that in getting to the bottom of this matter, the petitioners actually brought some document from the Ivorian nationality institution based on the Ivorian law, which is the Article 48 of the Ivorian Nationality Code, where it shows that you have to actually denounce your citizenship as an Ivorian before you can actually contest or be seen to have actually denounced your Ivorian citizenship. But the defendant, that is the first respondent, the MP for Jomoro legal team, actually managed to bring a lawyer from Ivory Coast who came in as an expert lawyer to actually interpret the Ivorian code, that is the Article 48 of the Ivorian Nationality Code, where he said that there are two things when it comes to determining whether somebody is no more an Ivorian or not. And that is, he said that there are differences between renouncing your citizenship as an Ivorian or losing your citizenship as Ivorian. And so for the MP, at the time that she was actually filing to contest the MPship of the Jomoro area, she already had a Ghanaian passport. And so by that, she had already lost her citizenship. She didn't even have to renounce. Fine, the court actually asked the MP to go ahead to secure a letter confirming that she wasn't an Ivorian at the time of filing the nomination form. And when that notice or letter or response came from the Ivorian Justice Ministry, it came to confirm. The Justice Ministry said that, yes, as long as by the time that she actually, the very moment that she acquired a Ghanaian passport, she automatically lost her citizenship. And so calling for a letter to renounce her citizenship was not necessary. And this was what the judge actually said in the ruling, that the Justice Ministry's letter from the Ivorian Justice Ministry's letter to the court stated that there was no need for her to even write for the renunciation because she lost her citizenship at the time of the very moment that she actually took a Ghanaian passport. And so that was the basis upon which the presiding judge for the secondary court, Justice Richard Ahwe, ruled that the MP duly went through the right processes and is duly elected as an MP for Jomoro. And one issue that actually came out, which the court discounted that it wasn't something that they could look into, was the petitioner's issue they raised with the MP's passport. If you look at the MP's documents from Ivory Coast, she was actually born in a community called Joke in 1971, but her Ghanaian citizenship had the different dates of birth and then even the place of birth, which is Accra, born in Accra and was born in 1972 instead of 1971. But the judge, or should I say the court, discounted that and said he could not go into that allegation of fraudulent acquisition of passport because it was not part of the substantive plea to the court. And so, at the end of the day, the ruling is that the MP is the rightful person that was elected and never breached any citizenship rules.
Hello, Anim.
Hello.
Yes. Before we let you go, what's the atmosphere like in court?
Well, on the side of the petitioner, it looked a bit sorrowful. we actually spoke to the lead counsel, Frank David, for the petitioner, who said they are a bit disappointed, but it is too early for them to actually decide on what they will do. They are going to go back and look at the ruling. I spoke to a former chairman of the party, Mark Menu. He expressed that they are shocked, and these were his words. He said they are shocked that this is the outcome of the ruling, but since the judge happens to be a judge of the High Court, they would take it and then still look at what would be their next step, whether they would want to actually pursue the issue of the fraudulent acquisition, alleged fraudulent acquisition, which at the moment is just an allegation. But on the side of the first respondent, that is the defendant, the MP for Jomoro, she was very happy, and they quickly actually left the grounds. They didn't even really grant any serious interview. But for her lead counsel, he actually said that the court actually they've just been vindicated by their position that they've held from the beginning, that the woman was not an Ivorian at the time that she actually filed. And so the whole outcome of the court is simply a vindication of what they have been saying from day one.
Thank you very much for that update. That was our Western Regional Correspondent, I beg your pardon, Akwesi Ejen Enim, giving us update on the election petition case that was brought against the NDC MP for Jomoro, Dr. Dorcas Afo Tofe. We will now play the voice of the petitioner, Frank Davis, who was in court today, to hear what he has been saying.
Citizenship on Ghanaian nationality is nothing to do with that. The issue at stake was whether she held the citizenship other than Ghanaian, which was Ivorian. So what our focus was Ivorian law as to loss of citizenship or renunciation of citizenship. In any event, a criminal offense is a criminal offense. If you forge particulars in your passport to acquire a Ghanaian passport, if one person, you claim you were born in 1971 in Abidjan, you claim you were born in 1972 in Ghana, you claim you were born in somewhere, that is a matter for the criminal justice system. I am not here to comment on that one. But obviously, there's clear indication that this woman has acquired the Ghanaian passport as a fraudulent petition. That is another matter. Is it something that you would like to pursue? Oh, I am not. I am not in charge of the criminal justice system in this country. I'm a trained lawyer. I'm a civil rights lawyer, and I don't delve into issues of criminal justice. It is up to the authorities to decide what they want to do. This is something coming from the judge's own mouth. It is clear from the evidence that he used that she has secured herself. Okay, so what is next for the petition? Oh, we are going to meet with the petitioner. I'm sure they are going to meet. It is an option. We take instructions from ourselves. We take petition towards us to lodge an appeal. We will look into the merits or whatever appeal we want to lodge. But I think the teaching lies entirely within the consultation with the college. So for now, there is no rush to say that we are going to appeal or not appeal. I listen to the judge thoroughly, but of course it is imperative that we apply a transcript of the judgment and read it again to make a perfect understanding of what the judge said.
You heard lawyer for the petitioner, Frank Davis. We also have the voice of Eduji Tamaklo, who is lawyer for Jomoro MP. Let's take a listen.
The judgment speaks of itself. The judgment speaks of itself. We put in a lot of industry. We didn't want to leave any loophole anywhere. I mean, culminating in traveling right to Ivory Coast together with my clients, the MP. And we are extremely grateful to God. And I thank you, the media men. In the course of this trial, some of your headlines were really discomforting, but I'm extremely grateful. Thank you.
Have you anything that you've learned from this proceedings, considering the fact that then the judge also raised issues of fraud and stuff like that? What's next for you?
I mean, those issues, immigrant families, a lot of things happen. Persons who travel, a lot of things happen. But those were not the issues. As rightly, in fact, the judge said they were irrelevant, red herring. That is what they were. Basically, we lawyers, we know some of those things. But that's fine. We are extremely grateful to the court.
You heard Eduji Tamaklo, who is lawyer for the Jomoro MP Dorcas Afo Toffee. We still stay a little while on this story. We are joined in studio by Sisters Don Unlo, our court correspondent, to tell us more. Thank you for joining us, Sisters. Now, what is the implication of this judgment?
Two ways we can look at this. We can look at the implication from the side of law and also from what is now commonly become the interest in such cases. That's the politics of numbers as it affects Parliament. You know that all of this, yes, the fact is that all of this has to do with fulfilling the law, ensuring that people who get into public office have the qualification and are eligible to so occupy such offices. But importantly, with regards to all of these petitions, they have a significant bearing on Parliament, the operation of Parliament, considering the structure of the current Parliament as we have it. Now, if this case had been lost, it would have affected the NDC severely, because you know that as we speak now, Parliament has a break-even number system. You have the majority side holding 136 plus 1. You have the minority side holding 136. So just imagine that this election petition had been lost. That would have given the NPP side a clear control of the House as the situation is now. Now, it's not been lost. It's the Member of Parliament has been declared the rightful winner of the seat. And so it means that particular tie, if you like it, that we have seen from the very inception of this particular Parliament up to date remains. It means that if you look at the structure of Parliament, we still have 137 members, 136 members for the NDC, 136 for the NPP, and then you have the independent member who decided to take sides with the NPP, that is the second deputy speaker, who is taking side or sitting with the NPP for the purposes of doing business. And so we still have that strict division in Parliament, where you find it difficult to say that in such serious matters as the censure vote that may be coming up soon, either of the parties would have control or advantage over the other. So as it stands now, there's still no clear majority in the House, and each of the sides will still have to play its cards well when it gets to critical votes, such as the motion that we have pending against the finance minister. Now, the other side we can look at it from, which is in terms of the implication, which is the side of the law. We would tell from the judgment that we have heard, well, we are yet to see the judgment proper. What we are working with is what our correspondent has told us has been presented in court by the judge. Okay. But as it stands now, we know that the strength of the case, it was won on the strength of the Ivorian law. That, well, the Honorable Member of Parliament, as of the time she acquired the Ghanaian citizenship, had by natural decree forfeited her Ivorian citizenship. That is the position of the Ivorian law, okay, as testified to by the expert witness that was brought in by the counsel for the MP, Tamaklo, and his side. And so it would appear that the strength of our law has really not been tested in this particular case, as it is being tested in the case of the Asin North MP. You recall that is also a similar case that stands on the strength of Article 94(2)(a) of the 1992 Constitution, whether or not a person is said to hold allegiance to a country other than Ghana if the person holds a dual citizenship. In the case of the Jomoro MP, we are told that as of the day the case was filed by Joshua Emua Kofi, the petitioner in this case, there were two issues that had been raised, two citizenships. It was said that the Member of Parliament was holding 3 citizenships. the Ivorian citizenship, the American citizenship, and the Ghanaian citizenship. But along the line, as our reporter told us, the case on the American citizenship had been dropped. And so what really came in contention here was the Ivorian citizenship, and that has also been ruled upon. In fact, as I said, one on the strength of the Ivorian law. And so we still do not have clear pronouncements to see whether this case will have a direct bearing on the Asin North MP's case. I'm not sure we can use this particular judgment as we have it here to determine that, because as we keep saying, it is the strength of the Ivorian citizenship law that has won this case for Madam Dorcas Afo Tofi.
Very well, thank you. That was our court correspondent, Sistus Don Ulo, giving us more on the issue where the NDC MP for Jomoro Dorcas Afo Tofi has won election petition brought against her eligibility relating to citizenship. Charles has more stories.
As former President John Dramani Mahama says, the harsh economic conditions in the country have affected even the volumes of offertory paid by churchgoers. John Mahama, who was speaking at the 175th anniversary Thanksgiving service of the EP Church in Ho, charged Christians to spread love and show concern to each other during this time of economic hardship.
You are stubborn, you are greedy, you are selfish, then you don't deserve to be called a Christian. We must always spread Christian love, especially in this time when money doesn't like noise, where we all agree that times are hard. This is the time we must show our Christian charity by loving our neighbors as ourselves. And so whatever little you have to share, you should share with your neighbors. I mean, we could tell the hardship in the system from the appeal for funds. When it was 2000, Madam Chair, Ahmed and a few people came and donated. Then it came down to 1,000, then to 500, then 200, 200 and 100. And then when it got to the silver collection, 1 CD, 2 CDs, the place was full. It shows that the pocket is not too good, but we appreciate even the 1 CD you put in, the 2 CDs you put in is very much appreciated.
Voice of former President John Dramani Mahama.
Now, organized labor is expected to meet the government today to continue negotiations on the proposal for a 60% increment in the base pay of the single spine salary structure for 2023. The public sector workers explained that the daily base pay is lower than government's newly announced daily minimum wage of 14 cedis 88 pesos effective January 1, 2023. According to the group, already, the group had mentioned that government is showing no goodwill in addressing the demands, but the government, on the other hand, says it is hopeful that their negotiations will come out successful.
Still on the labor front, trainees of the Nation Builders Corps, NABCO, are backing calls for the removal of Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta from office. Some Ghanaians, including the minority in parliament, have mounted pressure on the minister to resign with immediate effect. They blame the minister for the current economic woes of the country and that he has been insensitive to the plight of their members. They are also concerned about their unpaid arrears and want President Akufo-Addo to solve the problem before the festive celebrations. Here's the patron for the coalition, Nana Berima Asamoah, speaking to Citi News.
We observed from the inception of the scheme till the end that always when the finance ministry is directed to release funds for the payment of NABCO stipends, we can see reluctance on the side. Even with all the various demonstrations that we staged, we sent petitions out, and all the responses that we received, coordinators, even regional coordinators, NABCO Secretariat, gave us the firm assurance that the presidency has directed the finance ministry to release funds for the payment of all outstanding ideas. But we realized that the whole thing delayed based on petitions from the finance ministry, especially counting among the reasons and measures that they've just to mitigate their abysmal performance in the economy. And again, we realized that even when our contract was extended for a year, we had no communication from the NABCO system until the media review, when the finance minister came out emphatically that the NABCO scheme has ended. Though he couldn't specify any reasonable timeline where NABCO trainees will be paid the outstanding ideas. We are calling for his dismissal so that in case a new competent, a credible person is being put in place, they will seek the redress of all outstanding issues, which NABCO trainees arrears is involved.
You heard the voice of the patron of the Trainees of the Nation Builders Corps, Nana Berima Asamoah.
You're still listening to the City Prime News live from our studio in Adabraka, Accra. Still ahead in this bulletin, 5 persons in police custody for attempting to break out of police cells at the Ewutu-Breku District Police Command. Do stay with us. We have more shortly.
City Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers. Running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Now, the Ghana National Canoe Fishermen Council has hinted that fisherfolk along the coast may be compelled to embark on a demonstration if government does not resolve the shortage of premixed fuel in the country. According to the council, the fishermen are running out of patience because the situation is severely affecting their trade. Fisherfolk in recent times have raised concerns over the shortage of the commodity, which they say is having a toll on their operations. The fishermen say they are compelled to purchase fuel meant for vehicles at exorbitant prices anytime they want to embark on fishing expeditions. Speaking to Citi News, acting president for the Ghana National Canoe Fishermen Council, Nana Jojo Solomon, called on government to expedite action towards addressing the issue.
That government is having issues with the continuous supply of the product because of the escalating or surging price in oil on the international market. And therefore, we cannot continue to, give out a subsidized product that is going for 10 cedis, a gallon, as against almost 80 cedis a gallon as the real ex-pump price. Again, we are also appealing to government. We've gone to the minister several times to realize that it is beyond the minister. We realize clearly that she's doing everything possible to restore the product. We've gone to the secretariat here and there, serious agitations here and there. We continue, engaging them. They have a very good rapport or working relationship with the minister as well, and therefore that is actually what has kept them. But It's like we're still sitting on a time bomb as I speak to you, right? They will come to Accra. If they hit the streets of Accra, I mean, the city will come to us.
That was the acting president for the Ghana National Canoe Fishermen Council, Nana Jojo Solomon.
Now, 5 persons made up of 3 Nigerians and 2 Ghanaians are in police custody for attempting to escape from the Ewutu Breku District Police Command. They were in custody for various offences, including stealing of mobile phones and air conditioners, and were due for court this week but attempted breaking out of the police cells. Citi News' sources say they made the attempt by breaking the bars of the cell around 1 a.m. on Monday using a chisel and a hammer. They were subsequently arrested and have been taken to a different cell.
We're still a little while longer on crime because 14 persons have been arrested by a joint police military team in connection with the killing of the Borai Ahimfie chief Nana Mebo and 2 others in the Krachi in Chumuru district of the Oti region. The 14 persons are currently in police custody at Kete, the capital of the Krachi West municipality. Nana Mebo and 2 others who are yet to be identified met their untimely death when they were shot while working on their farm on Saturday. Kwame Seth, who was at the scene, has been narrating how the incident occurred.
The
land is for the chief, and when the chief asked us to go and work on the land, there were some confrontations that ensued between us and some other group of people who are also claiming ownership to the land. Although the matter is in court, the process has been delayed. As such, when the chief called us again to go and work on the land, these persons pounced on us and beat us up again. 1 person is dead, with 2 others injured.
There was an eyewitness, Kwame Seth, recounting the exchange of gunshots leading to the death of 2 persons and the Borai Ahimfie chief Nana Mebo and 2 others in the Krachi Nchumuru district in the Oti region.
Now, the Bureau of Public Safety has blamed the Forestry Commission for the recent fatal accident in Bogoso, which involved a logging truck. Timber logs on a logging truck dislodged onto nearby cars, causing the death of 1 person and injuries to several others. Speaking to Citi News on the incident, the executive director of the Bureau, Nana Yao Akwada, questioned the due diligence conducted by the Forestry Commission, while also lamenting that persons placed in the helm of affairs are reneging on their responsibilities.
Let the Forestry Commission put in place a proper safety department that ensures that before logs are moved from their places of origin, they are adequately secured on very roadworthy vehicles. Before logs and let the MTTD, who will be by the roadside giving handshakes or taking handshakes, let them also begin to be accountable that when a truck passes by your post and the next post, the goods, fall off and they cause public, if you like, disorder, we want to trace back every police officer on the road that is supposed to have inspected this car. We want to trace back to the Forestry Commission or the origin of these logs, check if we have a competent safety person there who will ensure that the right equipment or material was used to secure the logs.
Nana Yao Akwada further called on the government to ensure the passage of the Occupational Safety and Health Bill, which has been in Parliament for more than 20 years.
Every space is doing what they like, and the industry is literally neglecting safety and is running away, is cutting across occupational safety, and now we are beginning to have public safety implications of our lack of passing one single policy that will help us to solve some of these things. And I'm talking about the Occupational Safety and Health Policy and the adjoining bill, which has been, dancing seesaw from ministry to cabinet, over 2 decades. So if you ask me to solve this, first of all, immediate action, let us deal with the Forestry Commission. Let us get Dampare and its MTTD to start holding officers accountable, and then the long-term, solution, let us pass the Occupational Safety and Health Bill.
Nanaya Akwada is Executive Director of the Bureau of Public Safety.
Meanwhile, Deputy Director of NADMO at Pristia Hunivali, Louis Afo, says the 3 persons who sustained varying degrees of injury have been discharged from the Bogoso Health Facility.
People were saying the chain was unlocked and something. It wasn't like that. The chain was fully locked, but the car failed brakes, and through that it caused this accident, and we have only 1 life lost, and the 3 injured people too. We took them to Bogoso Health Center, and as I'm speaking, they are okay. So they have been discharged. But the Pragia rider, it was involved in the Pragia too. 3 vehicles and 1 Pragia. So the rider is here to take another health care, like going to the hospital once again to take the X-rays and other things. And I think he will receive treatment, and for that it will be okay.
You heard the Deputy Director of NADMO at Pristia Huni Valley. Away from that, 1 person has died, while 6 others have sustained various degrees of injuries following an accident involving a tricycle popularly known as Moto King on the Bimbilla Yendi Road. The passengers were on their way to the Bimbilla market when the incident occurred. The driver of the vehicle, Ismail Dawouni, told Citi News the accident was due to a burst tire.
It's actually when we were coming on our way, and I realized that the other side of the tire burst. When it just burst, then the thing balanced at once, and the motor fell off. It was not overloaded, because if it overloaded, it would have fallen. That what happened said would have been small.
So how many passengers were you carrying?
Actually, we're about 7 in number in the distance.
You heard the driver of the motor tricycle, popularly known as Moto King, Ismail Dawouni.
Over 100 illegal structures on a storm drain at Kofi Krom in the Okaikwe South Sub-Metropolitan District of the Greater Accra region have been earmarked for demolition by the Accra Metropolitan Assembly to avert perennial flooding. The move follows an order from the La Magistrate Court after a series of engagements between public health officers and squatters to vacate the area failed. The AMA says the activities of the squatters pose danger to the public. Here is the Public Relations Officer of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, Gilbert Ankra, speaking to Citi News on the intended exercise.
The Assembly, as part of measures to ensure that we avert flooding within our catchment area, we're supposed to, as you are aware, continuously distill our drains within the municipality. And these particular structures we are talking about are situated on one of the storm drains. It's over a kilometer storm drain within that particular enclave. And because of their activities, it's quite difficult for the Assembly to embark on this distilling. Hence, we need to move in there and then deal with the issue. If you look at that particular enclave, it is it's a linking road. And if we don't move in, as I said, deal with that particular issue, we wouldn't be able to know what will happen if it rains heavily within the city. So the Assembly is currently engaging them to let them understand. Let me briefly state that we've had our public health officers move into the location on countless occasions to issue sermons, notices to them. The last time they failed to appear before the court, and the court also gave an order for the removal of those structures on the storm drain.
Public Relations Officer of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, Gilbert Ankra.
Now, the Association of Rural Banks Ghana has appealed to the government to help them retrieve their locked-up funds in the financial sector cleanup exercise. The association says the retrieval of these locked-up funds in excess of 450 million Ghana cedis will unleash the full potential of the rural banking sector to support the nation's economic development. Speaking at the 22nd anniversary of the Association of Rural Banks Ghana over the weekend in Koforidua, the managing director of ARB Apex Bank PLC, Alex Kwesi Ewua, said the banks are not at a dead end.
Another critical challenge to the resilience of our banks is the intertwined issue of lockout funds and distress banks. And Nana highlighted on it, the president of the association has also talked about it. We approached Securities and Exchange Commission, and SEC is telling us that substantial part of the money that is locked up at Black Shield, because liquidation order has not been granted to the bank, to SEC, they cannot do anything. Meanwhile, money is locked up is about 450 million Ghana cedis. And you look at the sector in total, and you see that the impact is significant. And we're saying that government should help us get these monies back. Need to do that, and it is government that will have to do it. So please, our minister is here. I hope that the minister will help us to get our message to the powers that be.
You heard the managing director of ARB Apex Bank PLC, Alex Kwesi Ewua. On his part, the Eastern Regional Minister Seth Kwame Champon appealed to the rural banks to lend to farmers to improve the agric sector and boost food security in the country.
Through reduced food imports and the generation of export revenue as well as food security. I therefore wish to appeal to you, and here I mean rural and community banks, to take advantage of the services of Ghana incentive-based sharing system of the agricultural lending system, GIPSAL, which was designed to be holistic and integrated system of instruments designed to de-risk lending to the agri sector. I'm glad to note that most of our RCBs are doing well by lending to support cocoa farmers in their catchment areas. Please maintain your momentum in that direction in order to grow income of our farmers and also increase their yields.
You heard the Eastern Regional Minister Seth Kwame Champon.
Now, the General Agricultural Workers Union says the government's planting for food and jobs market policy is an abuse of power. The Ministry of Food and Agriculture on November 11, 2022 began carting food items to its premises for sale to civil and local government staff as part of efforts to mitigate the high cost of food products. Speaking to Citi News, the General Secretary of the General Agricultural Workers Union, Edward Karoe, called on the government to rather focus on production.
I've been very particular about the activities of the Minister of Agriculture in respect of the Planting for Food and Jobs program. And we have never shied away from expressing our support for the program by way of advice to the ministry what to do and what not to do, and some of the challenges that are on the ground that are affecting the successful implementation of the program. Now, the ministry has decided at this moment to engage in this middleman business with the excuse that the middlemen are profiteering. We do not support that because the ministry is drifting into the peripheral areas of its functions. The main business of the ministry is to help increase production, is to help create market, is to help reduce cost of production. But that we are not seeing being done or having been done properly. Yet the ministry is claiming that they have there's enough food in the rural areas, and therefore people are profiteering, creating high prices in the urban areas, particularly Accra, and for that matter, they are intervening. We disagree with it because ministry has engaged in this exercise first and foremost without a budget, and we've been asking for the budget that they are going to use for that exercise, and they have not been able to give it up. Secondly, we think that the ministry is engaging in an exercise that could amount to an abuse of office, an abuse of power. Because you can't use the ministry as a market center to start with. You cannot use that. And because by doing so, they are demobilizing other state institutions from operating. For instance, nobody can go and set up a market anywhere without AMA or the local authorities coming to license you to do so. No one can set up a market without fulfilling certain requirements. And I don't think the ministry has done all those things. So for us, it is a manifestation of the failure of the Plant for Food and Jobs program.
General Secretary of the General Agricultural Workers Union, Edward Karuwe.
You're still listening to the City Prime News, broadcasting live from our studio at Adabraka in Accra. Still to come, work on the Volta Regional Library Complex in Ho remains abandoned 19 years after construction began. Do stay with us. We have more.
City Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
And they are both so good. All the trees that are in the wood, the honey bears the crown.
Are you ready to rock the Christmas? The band Kokui presents Nubian Noel 2022. Rock the Christmas. Nubian Noel is the Christmas concert that gives a unique twist to your favorite Christmas carols. Nubian Noel 2022 will take place on 1st December at 6 p.m. at the National Theatre in Accra and will feature Ghana's dynamic Afro-popera band, the band Kokui, and surprise guest artists. Don't miss out on the most magical musical event of the Christmas season. Ticket prices are 200 Ghana cedis for VIP single, 350 Ghana cedis for VIP double, 150 Ghana cedis for standard single, and 250 Ghana cedis for standard double. Call or WhatsApp 055-331-3102 or visit The Band Kokui on all social media platforms. Tickets are available at the Buka Restaurant in Osu, Bar and Bean Restaurant at Embassy Gardens in Cantonments, and at City FM in Adabraka. Nubian Noel 2022 is proudly sponsored by Chango, the crowdfunding and group contribution app, and supported by John Dell Limited, Quest Beverages, and Ajwa Yeboah Clothing, and officially endorsed by the Beyond the Return Secretariat. Media partners are City FM and City TV. Nubian Noel 2022. Rock the Christmas.
It's creamy, creamy plus, delicious milk. Creamy plus for you.
Creamy Plus is a delightfully delicious option whenever and wherever the occasion calls for milk. For your quick meals on the go or quality time at the dining table, jazz up your favorite Gary soakings, mashed kinky, cereals, and all hot and cold beverages with a creamy, protein-rich, healthy option of milk. Creamy Plus evaporated milk with vegetable fat is all you need to stay on the go. Creamy Plus evaporated milk is now available in a shop near you.
For bulk purchases, please contact Les Farm Distributors at Medina Ritz Junction on 0501 682 522, or Grace has found us at Akoko Photo Dansoman on 0245 162 747.
Creamy plus for you.
Creamy Plus evaporated milk. This message has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
The shipping sector is important to the growth of the economy, taking Ghana to the world and bringing the world to Ghana. At Ghana Shippers Authority, we are here to help solve shippers' problems from lost and damaged cargo, delay of shipping documents to illegal charges at the port. Our aim is to ensure that we provide the best of service and support to importers and exporters across the country by organizing seminars on new policies, how to avoid demurrage, resolving complaints at entry borders, negotiating port charges, and promoting the transit trade. So whether you're importing or exporting, we are ready to assist you at no cost. Visit us at Ghana Shippers House Ridge, Accra, GPHA Towers, Tema, NCA Building, Denyame Kumasi, Takrade Shippers Center, Unity House, Kalpohen Junction, Tamale. We also have complaint unit at the Ilubu, Paga, Aflao Borders, Kotuka, and Takotel, Takrade. Call us on toll free on 0800 300 55 or visit our website shippers.org.gh. Ghana Shippers Authority, providing Shipping Solutions.
City Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Yeah, welcome back. Now, some teachers and students at the Accra Technical University have called on the government to pay attention to the demands of the Technical University Teachers Association, TUTAC, before academic activities resume in January next year. TUTAC has declared an indefinite strike over conditions of service, which includes fuel allowance, vehicle maintenance allowance, off-campus allowance, among others. According to the teachers, their demands have been on the negotiation table since 2016 without being attended to. Speaking to Citi News, some staff and students say those schools are currently on vacation, the situation may impact negatively on the academic work if the strike is not called off before school resumes. We apologize for that insert.
Now, work on the Volta Regional Library Complex in Ho remains abandoned 19 years after construction started. Our correspondent Desmond Selassie Agor visited the site of the project, which started under the Kufuor administration, and tells the story of neglect and abandonment. We're sorry we don't have that insert at the moment. We'll bring it to you later in our bulletins.
Now we'll go back to stories that we've been bringing you. We had the NDC MP for Jomo Dorcas Afotofe, who wins election petition case brought against her eligibility relating to citizenship. We also have five persons in police custody for attempting to break out of police cells at the Ewutu-Breku District Police Command. We also had the former President John Dramani Mahama saying the harsh economic conditions in the country have affected even the volumes of offertory paid by church goers. If you're listening to us, we are live on our affiliate stations across the country. If you're in the Western region, you're hearing us on Premier FM 100.5 in Takoradi and Beach 105.5 also in Takoradi. In the Bono region, we are on Greener FM 95.9 in Sunyani. In the Ashanti region, we are on Orange FM 107.9 in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we are on Akpene Radio 96.7 FM in Pando and Heritage FM 107.3 in Hohoi. In the Northern region, we are on Dasuma 99.1 in Yendi. In the Upper East, we are on Word FM 88.3 in Zuarungu. In the Upper West region, we are on West Link 88.1 FM in Laura, and in the Northeast region, we are on Eagle FM 94.1 FM in Wale Wale. We'll bring you some more stories. Now, the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana and Colleges of Education Non-Teaching Staff Association of Ghana strike has entered its second week. This follows the government's failure to address concerns raised over the conditions of service. Citi News checks show that students have begun to abandon the various campuses as they have been forced to fend for themselves. The president of the Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana, Jonathan Zunu, says he hopes for a better outcome from their meeting with government on Tuesday.
True that some of our members are leaving the various campuses to their homes because for 1 week now, we are in the second week, and teaching and learning has come to a halt. Feeding has also been halted due to the fact that both CTAC and CENSAC members are on strike. And for 1 week now, the students have not been fed. So for some, the best option is to leave the campus and go. We are very much disappointed. I must say that, yes, of course, the minister has shown some leadership in bringing the people together to make sure the issues are solved. But that isn't what we were expecting. That at the end, today we were informed that there's another meeting tomorrow. We are hoping that meeting will bring this issue to an end. So this meeting come on tomorrow and there is no positive outcome, we would have to advise our people on what to do, because we can't allow the students to be on campus and main staff for 1 week, entering the second week. We can't do that.
You heard the president of the Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana, Jonathan Zunu. And that's how we end the City Prime News, which has been live from our studio at number 11 Dr. Morton Loop in Adabraka, Accra. We're also live on our affiliate stations. In the Western region, we're on Premier FM 100.5 in Takoradi and Beach 105.5 FM in Takoradi. The Bono region, we're on Greener FM 95.9 FM in Sunyani. In the Ashanti region, you are hearing us on Orange FM 107.9 in Kumasi, and the Volta region, we're on Akpene Radio 96.7 FM in Kpando, Heritage FM 107.3 in Hohoi. In the Northern region, we're on Dasuma 99.1 FM in Yendi. Upper East, you are hearing us on Word FM 88.3 FM in Zuarungu. Upper West, you're hearing us on Westlink 88.1 FM in Laura. And in the Northeast region, you're hearing us on Eagle FM 94.1 FM in Wale Wale. We're also live across the globe on citinewsroom.com. My name is Wilma Obobi-Sakoman, and this afternoon I was here with
Charles Owusukumi.
Many thanks for your time. We have the afternoon's edition of the City Business News with Anita Muriku.
City 97.3. More variety.
When they are both so grown, all of the trees that are in the wood, the holly bears the crown.
Are you ready to rock the Christmas? The band Kokui presents Nubian Noel 2022. Rock the Christmas. Nubian Noel is the Christmas concert that gives a unique twist to your favorite Christmas carols. Nubian Noel 2022 will take place on 1st December at 6 p.m. at the National Theatre in Accra and will feature Ghana's dynamic Afro-popera band, the band Kokui, and surprise guest artists. Don't miss out on the most magical